History has been made at the Emirates as Arsenal officially punches their ticket to the Champions League semifinals. Manager Mikel Arteta is singing the praises of his squad after a gutsy display against Sporting Lisbon, locked in a 1-0 aggregate victory. It is the first time in 140 years that the Gunners have reached back-to-back semifinals in this competition, and the energy around the club is absolutely electric.
Never run out of battery again with the INIU portable charger, the slimmest 10,000 mAh power bank that keeps your devices charged on the go. Stay powered up wherever you go. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
But don't you dare take this success for granted, because Mikel Arteta is warning everyone that this level of achievement is incredibly rare. The team is already shifting their focus toward a massive showdown with Atletico Madrid in the Final Four. It is a dream run for the club as they look to finally hoist the trophy for the first time ever. Leadership is at the heart of this run, and the players have made a bold statement by choosing Declan Rice to wear the captain's armband in the absence of Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka. Mikel Arteta revealed that the decision came directly from the squad, who believe Declan Rice has fully earned the role through his pure determination in the toughest moments. With the atmosphere hitting a fever pitch, the team is turning their attention to a season-defining Premier League battle against Manchester City this Sunday. The stakes could not be higher as they hunt for title glory on the domestic front while preparing for European glory. Stay in the loop with all things Arsenal by hitting that subscribe button and turning on notifications so you never miss an update. History was made at the Emirates, but did the performance actually leave you convinced? Arsenal have officially booked their spot in the Champions League semifinals for the second consecutive year. A first in our 140-year history, after grinding out a tense 0-0 draw against Sporting Lisbon to win 1-0 on aggregate. Mikel Arteta was quick to heap praise on his squad, highlighting their attitude, their resilience, and their ability to bounce back from that disappointing weekend loss to Bournemouth. He called it a massive moment, and looking at the record books, he's absolutely right. But let's be honest. While the result is golden, the football felt like a heavy lift. We started with such promise, pinning Sporting back, but as the minutes ticked on, that final third magic was nowhere to be found. In fact, if not for the woodwork, we could easily be talking about a very different outcome. Arteta admitted as much, pointing out that while the defensive behavior and habits were outstanding, the control and dominance in the final third just aren't at the level they need to be yet. What he loved most, however, was the raw honesty in the dressing room, players owning the narrative, looking each other in the eye after the Bournemouth defeat, and turning those hard truths into the grit we saw tonight. Now, the path to a first Champions League final in 2 decades runs through Atletico Madrid, a side we know well. But before we dream of Munich, we've got a massive hurdle this Sunday at the Etihad. With the Premier League title race on a knife's edge, Arsenal isn't looking for style points anymore. They just need to survive and thrive. Are we a team in transition or a team running on fumes? We need our injured stars back to really find that clinical edge again, but for now, the fight continues. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the Gunners' journey, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Is this the season we finally conquer both Europe and the league, or are we just delaying the inevitable? At the end of the day, football is about the struggle, and we are right in the thick of it. Ever felt like you were watching history unfold in real time, only to realize you might be underestimating it? That's exactly where Mikel Arteta wants Arsenal fans to pause and take a breath. After grinding out a disciplined, scoreless draw against Sporting CP to clinch a spot in the Champions League semifinals, Arteta isn't just celebrating a win, he's contextualizing a legacy. Think about it. Just 3 years ago, this club was fighting tooth and nail just to be back in the European conversation. Now, they've reached the Final Four for the second year in a row, a feat that hasn't happened once in the club's 140-year history. As Arteta put it, we shouldn't take this for granted. It is easy to get caught up in the what's next mentality, but reaching these heights twice in 12 months is a monumental shift for a club that spent years in the wilderness. The manager is rightfully proud, acknowledging that while they aren't a perfect team yet, they have reached a level of defensive maturity that is honestly frightening. Keeping 8 clean sheets in this competition against the continent's elite, that is the bedrock upon which champions are built. Now, the mountain only gets steeper. A massive semi-final showdown with Atletico Madrid looms, and if Arsenal wants to reach that dream final in Budapest, they will need every ounce of that defensive grit. Arteta knows the margins are razor-thin, and he's already focused on analyzing their past meetings to find that winning edge. It is going to be a battle, but for a team that has already defied the odds to make history, why should we doubt them now? If you think this squad is just getting started, hit that subscribe button and let me know in the comments. Do you think this is the year Arsenal finally lifts the trophy? Remember, greatness isn't an accident. It is built on nights like these. Ever wonder who truly runs the show behind the scenes at Arsenal? It turns out, when the armband needs a new home, it's not just Mikel Arteta calling the shots, it's the players themselves. In a fascinating reveal after their hard-fought clash against Sporting CP, Arteta pulled back the curtain, admitting that the decision to put the captain's armband on Declan Rice was actually a call made by the squad. Now consider the context. Martin Odegaard is sidelined with a knee injury, and Bukayo Saka is nursing an Achilles issue. With their usual leaders out, you might have expected Gabriel to step into that leadership void again. Instead, the players pointed directly to Rice. And honestly, it speaks volumes about the culture at the Emirates. Arteta was quick to praise that decision, noting that Rice hasn't just earned his spot on the pitch. He has earned the status of a true leader who takes ownership when the pressure is at its absolute peak. It is rare to see that kind of democratic autonomy in a top-flight dressing room, but it's a brilliant sign of a team that is genuinely united. Moving forward, this shift comes at a critical juncture. Having scraped through to the Champions League semifinals to face Atletico Madrid, the Gunners are riding a massive wave of momentum heading into their high-stakes showdown against Manchester City this Sunday. A win there puts them 9 points clear in the title race, but as Arteta acknowledged, the schedule is relentless and the physical toll is real. Watching this group track back and grind out results against the odds proves they have the grit that champions are made of. They aren't a perfect side, and nobody knows that better than the manager himself, but they are a team that fights for one another, and that is a dangerous quality for any opponent. Now, I want to hear from you. Is Declan Rice the natural-born leader Arsenal needs to finally end their title drought? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into the Arsenal camp, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more behind-the-scenes insights into the world of football. In a move that speaks volumes about the shifting power dynamics at the Emirates, Declan Rice has officially stepped into the spotlight as Arsenal's captain. But this wasn't a top-down mandate from Mikel Arteta. It was a democratic choice by the players themselves. Following the goalless draw against Sporting CP that punched Arsenal's ticket to the Champions League semifinals, Arteta revealed that the squad specifically nominated Rice to lead them. It's a massive endorsement for the 27-year-old, especially considering he's leapfrogged established leaders like Gabriel in the hierarchy. Arteta isn't just impressed by Rice's skill, he's obsessed with the accountability the Englishman has shown during the club's most grueling moments. When you see a player command such immediate respect, you know they've truly earned their stripes. Even with mainstays like Martin Odegaard and Bukayo Saka sidelined, the team clearly felt that Rice was the right voice to steer the ship. When asked about the grittiness of the Sporting clash, Rice didn't entertain any negativity. He shut down the critics with a simple reality check. They're in a semifinal, and for this group, that's all that counts. That resilient, us-against-the-world mentality is exactly what Arteta has been trying to instill. The manager himself is rightfully buzzing, noting that the squad has achieved something historic, reaching the Final Four despite a brutal schedule and a significant injury list. Arsenal is now the sole English side left standing in Europe, and they've got a massive date with destiny against Atletico Madrid. But before those magical nights kick off, all eyes turn to the Etihad this Sunday for a showdown with Manchester City that could decide the entire Premier League season. If Rice can lead his team through that gauntlet, his captaincy will be more than just a title. It will be the hallmark of a new era. Do you think this leadership shift is the spark Arsenal needs to finally conquer the title race? Hit that subscribe button, drop a comment with your predictions for the City game, and remember, in football, the players who lead in the shadows often end up casting the biggest light.